Hello friends, let's begin the class of economics, and this is first video on economics, and today we are going to discuss tax structure in India. So you can also read this chapter from Ramesh Singh, that is class chapter 17. So in this video you will be able to learn about tax, methods of taxation, a good tax system, what are its characteristics, methods of expenditure, then what is value added tax? You know VAT, the need of VAT in India, goods and services tax, that is GST, and present situation of GST. So we will start now. So as you know that tax, it is a mode of income redistribution. So what happens, like those people who are rich, states take money from them, means they according to their ability, so it taxes them. Then that those taxes are being collected by revenue officials of the government, that is bureaucrats, and then state spends it on states infrastructure, health, education, and all those things, all the needs of the society according to needs of the people. So sorry about this. So it state it spends according to the needs of the people. So just know that tax is a mode of income redistribution. So we can see that there are two levels of redistribution. First is income side. So what happens, like after you can see that currently, like in our Indian structure, up to a certain limit there is no taxation. So you will not be taxed if your income is below 2 lakhs. But above that there is some percentage of taxation from 2 lakhs to 5 lakhs, let's say 10%. So that way you can see that the government taxes those who are earning more. So that way the income side, the incomes, they get closer to each other, so inequality reduces, and the money, it gets redistributed like that. Then on the consumption side you can see that that is a secondary level of redistribution. So you know that the government, it provides you schools and hospitals, and the people who are paying higher taxes, they don't get these government services. They get these services, but they just don't avail these services because they can afford to send their children to good schools, private schools, and they can afford private hospitals. So you can see that only poor people go to the governmental things. So that is a redistribution from consumption side. So now we will see what are these definitions. So incidence of tax. So this is the point where the tax is imposed. जिस बिंदु पे टैक्स लिया जाता है, that is incidence of tax. And impact of tax means uh, after taking the tax, the effect is felt on some point, and that point is known as impact of tax. So uh, now we will see what is direct tax. So direct tax is incidence and impact both at the same point. So examples are income tax and interest tax. So as you can see, like you have some money, and let's say your income is 1 lakh rupees, and let's say 10% is the taxation, so you have to pay 10,000. So directly that will be deducted from your income. So that is incidence of tax is your income, and impact of tax is directly on you. But then we will see indirect taxes. Some taxes are excise taxes, sale taxes. This question came in UPSC pre this year, that sales taxes comes under state or center. So excise taxes are those taxes which are taken on the production of goods and services. So goods produced are give excise. So the indirect taxes imposed on the producers or the traders, but consumers bear the burden. So the incidence of the tax is producers and traders, but the impact is felt on the consumers. So that's it. Then now we will see the methods of taxation. There are three methods: progressive taxation, regressive taxation, and proportional taxation. So what happens in like progressive taxation? Uh, the tax rates keep on increasing, and as your income keeps on increasing, the rate of taxation also keeps on increasing. So Indian income tax is almost progressive in nature, and so you can see that the people who earn less, they are taxed less, but the people who earn very high, they are taxed more. So this particular taxation concepts, it discourages more earnings by individuals to support low growth and developmental unintentionally. So people don't want to develop their business because they will be taxed more. And in this progressive taxation, poor are rewarded and richness is punished. And if the taxation rates keep on increasing very high, then after some time your whole income will go in taxation. So at that point of time, you can see that the people will start evading tax. Even much before that, they just start evading tax. So progressive taxation is good up to a certain limit. So this is a pro-poor taxation, and it's most popular taxation method in whole world. Then we will see regressive taxation. So regressive taxation just opposite of progressive. As you can see that the income keeps on increasing, but the tax rates, they just keep on decreasing, and after some time they will just become constant, or they will become zero also after a certain limit. So these are the decreasing rates of tax, and they are used to promote some specific sectors. For example, to promote the growth and development of small scale industries. India at one time had regressive excise duty on their productions. So with increasing slabs of volume they produce, the burden of tax used to go on decreasing. So for medium and small scale industries, and for helping the export sector, the Indian taxation system was like, if you produce more, then the taxes will be less. So in this particular system, the people who are more higher producers or higher income earners, they are rewarded, and it is more taxing on the poor people and low producers. So this is not in the spirit of modern democracy. So these things are not used in India. Then the third method is proportional taxation. As you can see that the amount, it is directly proportional to the income. So as your income increases, so the tax paid increases in proportion. So the rates are fixed in this taxation. It will be constant, and they are value neutral. No matter how much income you have, you will have to pay a fixed amount of tax. And this was, I think, in previous feudal systems, you can see that the amount of land you have to give one-sixth of the produce to the king, or one-third of the produce to the king, no matter if you are a small farmer or a large farmer. So proportion system used to happen then. And the main thing is that this is not used as an independent method of taxation anywhere. It is used as a complementary method. So most countries, they use this progressive method in complementary with proportional method, because after a certain limit you cannot just keep on increasing the taxation rates. So up to a certain limit the tax rates increase, like in India, 10%, 20%, 30%. So 30% is the maximum. Above that it becomes proportional. So you can see even the 10% tax slab is there, 2 lakhs to 5 lakhs, so that is proportional for that particular slab. And after that, 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs they give 20%. Above 10 lakhs they all give 30% taxation. So you can see that proportional in complementary with progressive taxation is used in India. So yeah, okay, now we will see what are the good tax system, what are the characteristics. So this is very important, because no matter what taxation system should you have, these characteristics are very important. So first of all, there should be fairness. So the taxation, it should be fair for every person. And how the fairness will come? It will come with horizontal equity and vertical equity. So in horizontal equity, people with equal capacity have to pay the same tax. So those people who are having equal earning, they pay same tax. That's as easy as you can understand. Then vertical equity, people with greater capacity to pay more tax. So the people who can afford more, they can pay more. So this is the fairness concept, and this is the characteristics of progressive taxation system. Then efficiency. So efficiency concept is that the taxation that state takes from you, it should increase the overall productivity of the economy. So you can see the definition that it is the potential to affect or interfere the efficiency of the economy. It affects the economic decisions, either encouraging or discouraging them to save, spend, invest, etc. So the taxation policies, they encourage people to spend more or to save more, to invest in specific sectors like that. So, for example, taxes on pollution or smoking. So, if the taxes are more on smoking, like cigarettes or your alcohol drinks or liquor, so you will naturally tend to consume them less. So that way, it is regulating the societal benefit also, and increasing income as well as serve social purpose. So they serve both. Currently, you can see that the liquor as well as cigarette products, these are the main income sources of the state governments. But since the prices are very high, the taxation rates are like 50% to 70%. That's why the cigarettes as well as your liquor, they have very high rates, and not all people drink them. So they are serving a social purpose also. So this is known as double dividend of a tax. So dividend, you know that profit, so double dividend is double profit of the tax. So this will increase efficiency. So as you can see that here, energy taxation, so here it means that the taxes are taken for having this renewable energy sources, so that our environment may be protected. So this is the example of efficiency. Then the third important concept is administrative simplicity, which means that the taxation structure should be simple. People should be able to understand how they have to give the taxes. So this includes factors like tax computation, filing, collection, etc. So these things are done by revenue officials. So checks tax evasion. So people, they just don't evade tax if the taxation system is simple. And India definitely needs tax simplification as recommended by Chelliah committee. So these the names of the committees are important, because if you write committee name, then you automatically get more marks. This is the general trend of our UPSC examination. So just remember this Chelliah committee, and this can be used in your pre examination also. So if the taxation system is simple, then of course people will pay the taxes, and they won't be confused like how much to pay, where to pay, how many tax laws are there. So it should be simple. So we will see how VAT simplifies this taxation system, and GST will oversimplify it. So then the fourth concept is flexibility. So what happens, like there should be scope or desirable modification with changing economy. If the economic conditions change, so the state should be able to have modification in the taxation system. So for example, if the economy becomes more socialist economy, so that way it should be changed, or more capitalist, so the taxation should be changed accordingly. So that's the thing. And then transparency. So this is the most important thing, that actual tax paid, the taxation which you are paying, and the services which you get against it, that is the spending of the government, they should be openly in front of public. So this is a cartoon. You can see that this guy is saying that uh, four things are certain in life: birth, death, taxes, and dodging taxes. So he is the one who is generating black money. He doesn't want to pay his tax. Okay, then methods of expenditure. As I have told you, the methods of taxation, they are three types: progressive, regressive, and proportional. So expenditure methods are also three types: same, progressive, regressive, and proportional. And the best method of expenditure is progressive, because as the progress keeps on increasing, so the government is spending also keeps on increasing with the expanding economy, and that will generate more revenue. So government will have more money to expand more. So this is the concept. So best method is progressive economy. So that's it. And here you can see that in America, this is a system that the top 1% of taxpayers, they are paying so much money as tax, so that they are paying more taxes than the bottom 90%. So they have a huge income inequality, and you can see that this is the way taxation is helping in reducing the inequality. So they are paying almost 40% of the taxes in America, and bottom 90% are just paying 30%. So you can see that. Then we will see about value added tax, VAT. So you have listened a lot about VAT. So what is this VAT? So this is a method of tax collection, and this is a state level tax. It is not a central level. Just know this at present in India. And also this is collected at every stage of value addition. That is either production or distribution. So it doesn't matter which stage, what is the production or distribution, but if a value addition is occurring, then the product will be taxed. And this is a multi-point tax collection. It is not a single point tax collection. So what are the positives of VAT? So there is no cascading effect on tax collected. Means cascading effect means tax on tax. So cascading effect, if cascading effect happens, then the prices of the goods, they just keep on increasing and it leads to inflation. So VAT, what happens if VAT is followed, then it does not leads to increase in inflation. महंगाई नहीं बढ़ेगी. Then pro poor tax system without being anti-rich. The people who are in this chain, they have to pay the similar taxes as they were paying in single point taxation. But the thing is that it will reduce the cost of the final product, and that is pro poor. And increase in tax collected. And if you follow the VAT, then the tax collected is also increased. So I will show you by example what is VAT, then only you will be able to understand it simply. So let's say there is a product and it goes to manufacturer, from manufacturer it goes to distributor, from distributor it goes to retailer, and from retailer it goes to consumer. So let's say if uh, there is a single point taxation, so the retailer will directly pay the taxes, and let's say 15% is the taxation amount. So if this guy is selling the consumer the product for 100 rupees, so he has to tax it for 15%. So he will finally the product will cost to consumer 115 rupees, and state will get 15. But in VAT, how does it work? That producer here, whatever the producer, whatever product he is selling to manufacturer, he will also give 15% taxation. Okay. Then manufacturer, whatever for whatever cost he is selling to distributor, he will again take 15% from distributor. And then the taxation which producer has already given, so that will be subtracted from the manufacturer's cost, and then the remaining amount that will be given to the government. So mainly it is like whatever value addition is happening in the this particular step, that value addition is taxed. So I will tell you in a very simple uh, way. Let's say there is a product for 100 rupees, okay, and the taxation rate is 10%. So the manufacturer will purchase it for 110 rupees, producer will get 100, and state will get 10 rupees. Then let's say manufacturer adds value of 40 rupees and sells to distributor for 150 rupees. So he purchased for 110 and sold to distributor for 150. So the value addition is how much? 40 rupees. So now for 40 rupees, you just calculate for 10%. So that is 4 rupees. So manufacturer will give 4 rupees tax to the government. Then let's say distributor gets it for 150 rupees and he sells to retailer for 200 rupees. So again, he's making a value addition of 50 rupees. So he will now you can calculate 10% on 50, that is 5 rupees he has paid to the government. Then if retailer sells to the consumer for, let's say he got from distributor for 200, but he's selling to the consumer for, let's say 220 rupees. So he has to pay 2 rupees as tax to the government. So you can see that everyone is charged 10% tax, but they have to just pay the tax on the value added. सो आई विल टेल यू इन हिंदी. जैसे ये प्रोड्यूसर इसने 100 रुपए का सामान मैन्युफैक्चरर को बेचा और 10% टैक्स दिया, तो इसको 10 रुपए गवर्नमेंट को देने हैं. अब मैन्युफैक्चरर ने 110 में खरीदा है, उसने डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर को 150 में बेचा, तो उसने वैल्यू ऐड किया जो है वो 40 रुपए की ऐड किया. तो उस 40 रुपए की वैल्यू पे उसको 10% टैक्स यानी 4 रुपए देना है. फिर डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर ने सिमिलरली अगर रिटेलर को अगर 150 का खरीदा और रिटेलर को 200 का दिया, तो उसने वैल्यू कितनी ऐड करी? 50 रुपए. तो उस 50 रुपए पे 10% यानी 5 रुपए उसको गवर्नमेंट को देना है. सो दिस इज द मल्टी पॉइंट टैक्सेशन सिस्टम, दैट दिस पर्सन इज टैक्स, दिस पर्सन इज टैक्स, दिस पर्सन इज टैक्स. And how this taxation system increases transparency. Of course, you can see that every person in this whole distribution chain, they have to keep records of the invoices as well as the selling. So that way they have to keep the whole records, and that increases the transparency of the system, and there is very less tax evasion, and that's why people, when tax evasion is less, then the collection of the taxes they increase for the government. So I hope you have got the concept of VAT. If you still are not able to understand VAT, you can ask me in comment. So what is the need of VAT in India? So first of all, single point tax collection was having cascading effect and thus anti-poor. So how the single point taxation was having cascading effect? So you can see that if this person is giving 10%, and if by chance any one of them have already given 10%, let's say it's central tax or state tax or any other tax, so the final product it will be like 110 rupees, or means whatever the final cost. So on that final cost, retailer will again pay 10%. So that will just increase the product price. And you know that whatever taxes are being taken by these four people, all taxes are finally paid by the consumer. So basically it is the consumer that suffers. So that's why VAT is the most important thing, means it is a very good development. So also why VAT is needed, because the federal political system, states can also impose and collect taxes, and that increases the complexity of the system. So there was no uniformity at state level taxes. So this was detrimental to single market for Indian economy. We still don't have single market because every state has its own taxation system. Then we had economic reforms in 1991. So implementation of economic reforms needed a single Indian market. So that's why VAT became necessary. And VAT implementation also increases the total tax collection. I just showed you how. So thus states get benefit and leads to more transparency and less tax evasion. This also I told you just now, how transparency will increase and how people will not do tax evasion. Also, this VAT system, it reduces complexity in taxation system by merging several indirect taxes into single VAT. So before that there were a lot of taxes, but now there will be a single VAT taxation, and there will be a single percentage that will be determined by the state, and so it will just reduce the complexity. So recommended by Chelaiya committee and Kelkar committee. Again, know these names, Chelaiya and Kelkar, because UPSC can ask these committee names. And anyway, you have to write them. If you write committee name, then it just gives authenticity to your answer. So just remember these Chelaiya and Kelkar on taxation system. Then this is SEN-VAT. SEN-VAT means central VAT. So what happened, like the central government, it imposed excise duty on VAT method. Excise duty, you know that the taxation which is taken on the products. So means wherever they are produced. So this excise duty is directly taken from the production center, and central government collects this tax. So then this is known as SEN-VAT, central VAT. So central government can collect these taxes only according to the Central Excise and Custom Tax Act definition. So only the products which come under this particular act, they are taxed by central government. And this also you should know that only state sales tax were converted into VAT and not the excise duty, which is imposed on intoxicants only. So states, they have the power to impose taxation on the intoxicants, that is liquor. So they impose the excise duty on liquor, but on all other products central government imposes excise duty. So that excise duty is collected by SEN-VAT, and states only sales taxes, they were means merged into one single tax, that is VAT, and that is only known as VAT. So this you should know, this came in UPSC this year. Then implementation experience of VAT. So this was very encouraging, received well by all stakeholders, that is state government as well as the people who are paying taxes as well as central government. Then tax revenue registered an increase, as you have seen that tax evasion reduces, so taxes increase. And only few states claimed VAT compensation from center. So states are always means like what if we get less money from this particular VAT concept, so they were asking compensation from center if they lose their revenue. So only very few states claim that compensation from center. Okay, now we will see goods and services tax. So this is the modified form of VAT, and it is being recommended for, means currently there is a amendment bill 122nd amendment. So central government wants to impose this goods and services tax. So what is this GST? So it will emerge after merging many of the state and central level indirect taxes. Indirect taxes, excise duty and those custom duty and all those things. So all those indirect taxes of central as well as states will be merged in a single tax, that is GST. And it is similar to VAT, that value added tax. As you have seen that it is the GST will also be taken on multiple points. So it will be multi-point taxation system, and there will be uniform rate all over country and replaces multiple central and state taxes. So there will be a single VAT for whole country. Currently the single VAT is only for states, and states decide what will be their VAT percentage. um, because the VAT is only the sales taxes, they have been merged and converted into VAT, but now there will be a GST, that is goods and services taxes, and it will have a uniform rate. So currently the rate proposed is 20%, center will get 12%, and states will get 8% revenue respectively. So you can see that in our income tax system, that is direct tax, only people who have more money they are charged taxation. But in indirect taxes, every product which we normal people use, that will be charged with 20% rate. So for example, if we purchase a toothpaste, so if the cost is 120 rupees, so we have paid 20 rupees as tax to the government. So that's why you should know that every individual in this country is paying taxes to the government, and that's why government is responsible for the welfare of rich as well as poor, everyone. So anyway, the taxes being merged into the GST are the central taxes, that is central VAT will be merged, service taxes will be merged, sales taxes and stamp duty. So these four taxes of central government will be merged into GST. And state taxes, state excise, then sales taxes of state government, then entry tax. Entry tax means the goods which enter into the state, that are they are imposed some tax, that is entry tax. Then lease tax, then works contract tax, luxury tax, and all those things. So you can see that so many taxes are there in state government control, and there are so many taxes in central government control. So you can see that the tax computation and filing, it becomes so much complex. So complexity of taxation system should be reduced. If the complexity is reduced, then the people will be more obliged to pay the taxes, because they will be know that the taxation process is very simple. So that's why GST is very much needed in our country. Okay, now we'll see what are the challenges in implementing GST. So first of all, states not satisfied with their 8% share. So many states are saying that our income will reduce, so we should be compensated for the revenue loss. Then second thing is that GST should be politically acceptable to consumers, that is citizens. And I think that citizens will not have any doubt, means they won't have any problem if the taxation becomes simple. Then how to integrate customs duty to GST. So this custom duty is taken on those products which enter into the our country and leave the country. So that is the custom duty. So the custom duty is also an indirect tax, and it should be means government is saying that it should also come under GST. So how to integrate it, because custom duty is different for different products. Some products have higher custom duty, some have lower. So this is very impractical. Then states demand for compensation mechanism. So states are, as I told you, this is the challenge, that states are, they want more compensation. Then states demand for exclusion of liquor fuel from GST. So states don't want liquor and fuel to be included in GST, because this is a major income source of the state governments, and if it goes under GST, then the income from liquor as well as fuel, it will just drastically drop. And that's why states don't want these things to be included in GST. The most states are reached by taking a lot of money on liquor. Then I will tell you the history. The Constitution 115th Amendment Bill 2011, it was brought in UPA government, and it was for GST implementation, but it lapsed. It was not able to pass because states were not agreed upon the whole scenario. They were asking compensation and all those things. Then since the bill lapsed, then again now 122nd amendment bill came in 2014 by this NDA government, and they have already means accepted the demand of this compensation, as well as not to include liquor and fuel in GST. So now this bill is in parliament, and we hope that it will get passed and this GST will be implemented from 2015 or 16. Most probably it will be implemented from 2016. And also you should know that there are two important terms. One is GST Council. So this GST Council, Goods and Services Tax Council, it will just be the main authority which will decide the working method, and it will recommend the GST rates, exemption list, which products are not to be included in GST, what will be the GST on different products, and what are the threshold limits, up to what level the taxation should be. So the composition is that the finance minister of the union government, he will be chairman, and there will be members. So all state finance ministers will be member, and state minister of revenue in union government will also be a member. So you should know this. The chairman is finance minister. So this is GST council. It will be directly a council which will be mentioned in our this constitution, because this is amendment bill of constitution. So this will be a constitutional body. So that will make mandatory that there should be a finance minister in center. So this is a typical analysis. So it will be derogatory for the powers of prime minister to decide what will be the size of council of ministers. So this is just analysis. Leave it for now. Then establishment of strong information technology, IT infrastructure is also critically important. Also, you should know that there is a GST dispute settlement authority. So it will consist of one chairman and two members. And if whatever GST council, whatever recommendation it gives on this GST rates and all those things, if states or center they just diverge from that, so the any issue will come to GST dispute settlement authority, and then it will solve those disputes. And if the states or center they still are not satisfied, then they can go to Supreme Court. Then establishment of strong information technology IT infrastructure. This is very critical for implementing GST, because if there will be a good IT infrastructure, then electronic processing of key business processes of registration, return, and payment. So everything will be electronic then in nature. That is currently also IT returns are filled electronically, but still if we have good IT infrastructure, then even the remotest corner of our country they can fill this GST easily. So this is very important. So GST network, this is known GST network. You should know this, and you can write this in your mains question paper. So that's it for this video. We will see a quick revision. So tax, it is method of redistribution of income, methods of taxation, progressive, regressive, and proportional. A good tax system, it should be transparent, efficient. Then it should be sorry, it should be good taxation system should be fair, transparent, efficient. It should be simple, and it should be flexible. Then methods of expenditure, all again same three methods: progressive, regressive, and proportional. Progressive system is best. Then value added tax, it is multi-point taxation system, and it is taken on each and every value addition, means every step this value added tax is taken. And need of VAT in India, because it will reduce corruption, as well as it will reduce tax evasion, and it will increase the tax revenue, as well as it will have less cascading effect, and it will reduce the inflation. So these things are why VAT is needed in India. And goods and services tax, so this is the modified form of VAT which will be applied to the whole country. And now you know what is GST, what is amendment bill, that is 122nd amendment bill, and what are the properties of GST, what is GST council, and what is this GST dispute redressal mechanism, that is GST dispute settlement authority. So these things you know. Then GST IT infrastructure. So that's the revision for this video, and thank you guys. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And video ending quote: Benjamin Franklin said that in this world nothing can be said to be certain except death and taxes. So आदमी सबको मरना है एक ना एक दिन, ये हमको याद रखना चाहिए. हम भी मर जाएंगे. एंड ऑल्सो टैक्सेस, इन सबको टैक्स पे करना है. अब आप कहोगे कि आप तो टैक्स पे नहीं करते, तो यू आर पेइंग इनडायरेक्ट टैक्सेस, जो आप साबुन यूज करते हैं, बिस्किट खाते हैं, या फिर आप मंजन करते हैं, तो उन सब पे आप इनडायरेक्ट टैक्स ऑलरेडी पे कर चुके हैं. So that is certain that you have to pay the taxes. So Benjamin Franklin is always right. Okay, the next video in economy series will be on tax structure in India part 2. We will discuss about capital gain tax, wealth tax, and security transaction tax, and Vodafone case, and all those things. So if you want me to make this part 2, please give thumbs up. Please like the video, and that way I will know that you want the second video. So thank you guys. Thank you very much.